Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening. From trader and CEO interviews to breaking news about companies you won't hear anywhere else, nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, LaSalle Anungu.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Hey, look, don't be mad at me. Look, I'm black. I show up when I want to show up. You know what I'm saying? You already know I'm going to show up late, but when you're black and you own your own business, then you know I'm not going to show up on time. Shout out back to everybody who's in the chat room right now. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Glad to be back onto the show. And look, you know, it's so good to put out information that is accurate and that is on time. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I've been preaching for the last 2.5 years that the market was going to go down. Can you hear me loud and clear? Can you hear me loud and clear? Shout out to the people in the chat room right now. Chris McKinney, Felix Sapini, or Sapani, Eban R, Blazing Crypto Profits. Am I being heard loud and clear? Stockafella. Who else is in here? Miss Jameson, what's going on? Mr. Dave Thomas, what's up? Andrew Medina. Who else? Robert Paradis. Hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Yes, indeed. Somebody let me know that you guys can hear me. Just press 1 if you can hear me loud and clear. I just need to know. I just need some feedback from the audience right now that my sound is good. Let me know if my sound is good. I know I got to be in front of the mic to really be heard clearly. But just let me know my sound is good. Okay, good. All right. Shout out to the audience, ladies and gentlemen. And, let's get right into it. Let's get right into it like old days. And what can you say? You know, I put out a great video about my strategy. I think it's been a long time coming. It's something that I'm still perfecting. And you guys know I tried everything, man. I tried so many different ways to trade. But at the end of the day, I just couldn't do the day-to-day thing. You know, the whole day-to-day thing was just testing my patience, testing my heart, you know, creating all kinds of anxiety. You know, I just got tired of it, man. I needed something that could develop, you know, proper abilities, proper discipline. And I found that the most simplest indicator that we all know, everybody knows, moving averages. Yes, moving averages are, you know, what's the word for it? When it's a delayed, you know, reaction. There's a proper word for it, but it's not a leading indicator, but somebody knows the word for it. Not a leading one, but the second one. And it's cool. It's cool with it. I'm cool with not being in a stock as soon as it turns. I'm cool with that. But when we talk about the probability of getting the trade right, lagging, thank you so much, guys. When we talk about the probabilities about getting the trade right, a lagging indicator on a long-term chart is incredibly accurate. I put up a 50 moving average, 60 moving average, 100, whatever. If you put it on a weekly, you put it on a monthly, it's right damn near every fucking time. Every time. Yes, you're going to get in there a little bit late. You're going to get in there a little bit late and you're going to get out slightly late. But 80%, 95% accuracy on certain charts, you know? And I wanted to get in a little bit sooner. So 100 was a little too far. 50 was a little bit too far. And I was like, damn, that 25 is like right on the map. Let me see, Netflix. And I was like, damn, that 25 is like right on it. You know? Look at Netflix. Let me zoom out so you can see it's right on it. It's right on it for a couple months. You know, yeah, you had some scary moments here and there, but for the most part, when that sucker rejects, it's coming all the way down. It's coming all the way down. When it's above it, uses it as support, and it mimics the RSI line here. I was like, I should be trading this. I should be trading this. I should be trading this, man. And shout out to Black Box Stocks. They had sent me an email. Like, well, I don't know. I mean, I feel like are you against the day? I'm not against the day trading. There are always going to be people who want to day trade, and you can make good money day trading. You can make good money day trading. Do your thing. It comes with more slippage, more cost, more risk. If you've been following my trades on Twitter, my positions now, minimum now 10,000. Minimum now 10 grand. You know, this isn't 2015 anymore. I'm not putting $750 trades no more. I've been in the game for a minute. You know, and it comes due with due time. You know, you're going to be building your account with trades slowly, and you'll get to that point. If you're somebody who's only got 1,000, 2,000, staying in the game is going to get you there. Staying in the game is going to get you there. That's just going to come with time, right? And for those of you guys who want to get started, again, to be a trader, you got to be a saver. To be a trader, you got to be a saver. So stack up. Just stack up. Work hard. Work your whatever job you're working on and get to that level. All right? But please, if you're losing money and you're not benefiting from this incredible downside move that's happening right now, which, by the way, they want to stop. They want to cool this market off because it's going down, down, down. I mean, they had to shut the market because that demon George H.W. Bush just died. So they shut the market on that. The day after one of the worst red days in the last 5 years. They had to use that excuse like, okay, the market's closed in respect of the president. Bullshit. JFK had got shot, and the next day the market was open. We know damn well they did not shut that market down because of the funeral. It was because of that huge red day on the day after his death. The day before his death. They didn't give a damn. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get a bounce here. We will get a bounce here the next 2 days. I fully expect a bounce to occur. We bounced a little bit today, man. In fact, man, let's look at this chart today. Here's our indicator. And as you can see here, this is a very long-legged doji candlestick here. And as you can see, you're bouncing off the lows. And that's fully expected. Let me move to a 5-minute or 10-minute chart, rather, see it better. And as you can see here, where was our morning? There we go. Here's our morning bouncing off the low RSI. And I fully expected that to happen. You really can't hold these puts forever, particularly if you have puts that are only a week, 2 weeks out. You really have to go a month out or more to really be able to say, okay, even if it bounces, I'm going to continue to hold. So I fully expected that to happen today. But at the end of the day, we know that this is a recovery that it's only going to be very short term. But I'm telling you right now, if we bounce tomorrow and we bounce Wednesday, you're going to hear that talk that happened a couple weeks ago about, hey, we're back, blah, blah, blah. That happened a couple of days ago. When was this? This was, the 26th to the 1st. The 26th to the 1st, we had that very interesting bounce that had a couple people thinking that it was back to the good old days, and it wasn't at all. It wasn't at all, and a lot of people got caught on that. And again, when you're not paying attention to the long-term charts, right? When you're not paying attention to the long-term charts, that shows you here SPY weekly below the 25 moving average. And again, that is very much like a snake choking the shit out of a deer or something like that. You are on the 25 moving average is such a powerful point of resistance. It's such a powerful cap, you know. In order to break it, you got to break above the 50 RSI. We're not there. We're below the 50 RSI on the weekly. We're below the 50 RSI on the weekly. So again, you're going to get the short-term bounce tomorrow. You're going to get the short-term bounce possibly on Wednesday. But we'll see what happens after that. But I've told you guys that these people don't want to lose. They don't want to lose. Right? And we had James Bullard. Who is the head of the St. Louis Fed. You guys know that the Fed has different branches, and they're basically responsible for collecting data in the geographic areas that they're responsible for. And he's already suggesting that we delay the interest rate hike for December. That's how greedy these people are, man. That's how greedy. They're willing to create an even, more horrible environment for equities, for Americans, all right, in order to keep these overinflated assets continue to be inflated, than to do the right thing, which is what the data says, than for you to hike interest rates. That's how wicked these people are, man. And again, delaying a rate hike, this would be one of the first times this has happened in a very long time. This is going to be the first time this has happened in a very... Why is the police... I'm live. It's been quiet all day now. I'm live now. The police, I'm hearing the train and shit. I don't know if you guys are hearing that shit. Excuse me. But, yeah, that's what's going on right now. All right? So, be careful with this. This is a very sensitive thing right here, because if this does happen, then we're going to start seeing a lot of money get back into equities, because you do have investors coming out of the market and getting into treasuries because they expect a rate hike. All right? And companies that, for the most part, like IWM, that's a huge, you guys know I've been in IWM. I'm up in IWM nearly 15K right now. I've practically doubled my money. You can, again, look on my Twitter, Got Penny Stocks. Been in the trade now damn near a month. Again, the companies that make up IWM, they don't pay dividends. Why? Because they don't, for the most part, don't really make money. And they finance their businesses by taking out loans, right? Many of them are not profitable. So an interest rate hike is very sensitive to those companies because they'd have to pay more on those loans. And doing business would become a little bit more expensive. And a lot of them would, unfortunately, some will go bankrupt. Some will just start really losing money. All right. And of course, you're going to see an effect in the stock price. You're going to see an effect in the stock price. As I told you, that we're already seeing people moving into treasuries very aggressively. If you don't know what treasury yields are, they're basically just, it is basically explained as just a percentage of the return on investment that you will receive for buying government IOUs, right? The government asks you, other people, financial institutions as well, to lend them money. And that money is lent in the form of treasury bills, bonds. And when demand is very low, right? When demand is very low, it increases, right? The government will pay you more to get you to lend them money. Well, when demand is very high, common sense tells you that the government says, hey, well, look, everybody wants the safety net. Everybody believes that possibly we could be heading in a recession. I'm not going to pay more than I have to get you to lend me money. So it makes very sense that treasuries go down. And these short-term treasuries, as we can see here, the 2-year, the 5-year, 10-year, they're going lower. Why? Because it's very clear that wealthy investors, institutions, sovereign wealth funds are moving to safe havens. They're moving to safety, and you can see it. You can see it in the treasury yields as they go lower. So what does that tell you about the market? It's telling you that they believe, these wealthy people believe that we could be heading into some serious trouble going into 2019, going into 2020. All right? There's no data that anybody can point to in 2019 to tell you it's going to be better than 2018 or 2017. None. There's no data at all. We've been talking about it here on the show, on my last episode and a couple episodes before that. We talked about Lowe's closing 99 stores. A couple days ago, we had GM announcing their closing. Some people are saying that yes, that's a trade that has, conversations with that has a lot to do with it as well. It could also be the changing ways of millennials and how they view car ownership. Right? There are a lot of things that play into that. But it also has a lot to do with that cheap money is drying up. Cheap money is drying up. There's a lot of money still out there, but for the most part, it is slowly drying up. I want to look at, for those of you guys who live in the big city, pay attention to your own towns. You're not seeing the condos going up like you used to. Some of them are still going up, but you're not seeing the heavy kind of, 2011, 2012, 2013 condo on every damn block kind of situation. The Whole Foods just kind of popping up out of nowhere in the urban areas. You're not seeing that kind of movement anymore. All right? The Democrats have taken over the House. It's going to get tough. All right? We got a lame duck president for the next 2 years because he ain't passing nothing. Not that I think he's going to get through. Those tax bills, you got to remember the conversation was for tax, another possible tax. Forget it. That's not happening. Not happening. All right? Not happening. Shout out to the people in the chat room. Let's talk about some tickers, guys. What are you guys looking at? Let me know what you guys are looking at. Again, if you haven't been in these puts, you're going to get an opportunity to get some discount deep in the money puts over the next 2 or 3 days. I fully expect a bounce tomorrow and possibly into Wednesday. All right? I fully expect that with today's indicator on many of these tickers, particularly these ETFs and these indexes. All right? In fact, I thought we saw Apple, right? We saw a nice little thing on Apple today. I think that's going to be built off. You see here, we got the the higher low in Apple showing up there in the RSI. I did see that. That's something it could possibly build up on. We'll see what occurs with Apple. But again, here's another one cracking below that 25 moving average, below that 50 RSI, high probability short. But again, you're bouncing now. It's about to go test that. We're about to see what traders really think about Apple. But very disappointing news that Apple not coming out with a 5G phone until 2020. Very disappointing. Verizon, Samsung, they've already got a deal to come out in April for a 5G phone. Verizon is not playing around. These people invest in the future. Apple, not until 2020. Is it going to hurt them? I don't know. But I already believe that we're already at peak iPhone. we're at peak iPhone now. All right. For those of you guys who live in different countries, you guys are the, again, not to insult you, but you guys are the ones that are out of your mind. I mean, you're paying 3 to 4 times the value of some of these phones just to walk around with that status symbol, because it's such a big status symbol in the third world. You guys know I went to Africa this summer, the Congo, and I went there and I sold my 6S. I had a 6S. These motherfuckers like, oh, let me get your phone. Is that an iPhone? Oh my God. American iPhone. Oh. I was like, yeah, this is an iPhone. Oh my God, tell me, what do you want for that iPhone? Okay, and I'm like, okay, all right, so, shit. I mean, it's a 6S. It's kind of old. It's like, okay, give me that phone right now for $600. So I was like, $600? I pulled up eBay, and the 6S is going for like, man, it's going for like $180, $190. It was like, fuck it. I reset it right there in front of them because, I had some credit card information and that shit. And I sold my phone right there. I didn't have a phone for the last week I was there. I'm a trader. I'm gonna make profit wherever I go. That's the thing about being a trader. You start, trying to find deals in everything. So I sold him that motherfucking phone because it's such a big status symbol in these third world countries. So you guys are going to keep Apple afloat for the phone, but for the most part here in America, we don't really give a damn about that shit like that. Now, I know in certain circles it's still popular, but, motherfuckers here don't give a fuck about the fact that you got an iPhone. Especially when you're dealing with some of these ladies, they care a lot about it, but half their screens are cracked. Pretty ass girl, but crack phone. I don't know what it is about women and crack phones. They will have a crack phone and be using it for months. Anyway, let me not get lost. We got a caller on the line. 210, you're on the air. What's up? 210. Okay, so 210's got an Acer computer. All right, thank you very much, sir. All right, I don't know why you guys are using this Acer. The brother still got a Pentium MMX processor. Let's keep it going. All right. Yeah, somebody brought up Lowe's. Yeah, we talked about Lowe's. And again, Lowe's is one of, I put Lowe's in the situation where I put Big Lots. I put that in the same Big Lot. Okay, 210 is trying to call back. I'm going to hit you up in just a bit. 210, call me back in 5 minutes. I put Lowe's in the same situation where I put Big Lots. Great companies that are just overextended. They're overextended. They built too much. Again, the housing situation got them really hyped up. A lot of money flowed into those companies. And they did well over the last several years. In fact, let's switch to a monthly chart. They did very well. Look at Lowe's. It did very, very well. And again, as you can see here, about to go below that 50 RSI. It hasn't been below the 50 RSI in these monthly charts going back to 2011. So what does that mean? That means this is a very high probability short that you're going to want to play this. Now, I looked at some of the Lowe's puts. I'd love to see a little bit more volume there, but I'm going to want to play this to the downside. I mean, they've had a really great run over the last 10 years. Again, this is what cheap money does. It creates environments that overinflates, creates, there's a proper word for it. I know my word. I'm fucking up on my words right now, but it just creates these fake bubbles, in these stocks that are just going to get deflated now. They're just going to get crushed. And Lowe's is just one of those. I can. Why not $40 return to $40 Lowe's when these interest rates increase, right? When these interest rates increase. We already saw a decline on mortgage applications, so we're already seeing that. We're already seeing what's happening. Lowe's is another, again, grab some of those puts if you want. Big Lots. We're already seeing with Big Lots. Big Lots is just another, again, another retailer getting killed by Amazon. Getting killed by Amazon. All right, here's another retailer just getting killed by Amazon. That's basically what you're seeing here in Big Lots. It's a good night for Big Lots if you can get a deep in the money put there, or even go ahead and get yourself a $20 put now. I mean, God, I would have loved if you got it, a month or two ago. But those are companies that you need to be careful with, or be on top of rather, because these are companies that are going to be greatly affected by e-commerce, and have been greatly affected by e-commerce over the last couple of years. All right. I know I've been talking about Macy's a lot. You guys don't understand how desperate the situation is for Macy's. Like this Christmas season, this is do or die for Macy's. I already have some of the $10 puts for 2020. That's how confident I am it's good night Macy's. That's how confident I am, because I missed Sears. You guys know Sears is a Q stock now. Guys made millions on Sears, on some of those Sears puts. All right, let's look at Sears now, OTCQ. Millions was made on Sears. All right, and Sears is beyond just e-commerce. I mean, it was just fundamentally flawed business. All right, just a fundamentally flawed business from their credit, lending procedures. It was just fundamentally fraud. There was a lot of money to be made there on Sears. That was a missed opportunity for me, because again, wasn't as smart of an investor as I am now. Still learning. But it's do or die. It's do or die on Macy's. All right. Another one that I'm paying attention to, that Foot Locker. I thought last year, I thought it was game over for Foot Locker, but that bounce was insane because they end up delivering some very interesting numbers showing that, yes, they closed some stores, but they were able to show some kind of profitability in these situations. Again, the hood, it bothers me because these people are what's keeping Foot Locker afloat. These poor neighborhoods where, the kind of shoes and the kind of clothes you wear determine your status in the community. That's what's keeping this stock afloat. But again, I think that in the long run too, this company will die as well. But you're saying, well, Sal, where will people get their shoes? I think there are other outlets and other ways to get tennis shoes that people will just will get used to, right? There was a time where people wouldn't buy shirts or pants online, and now most people are willing to do that. Now you still got some people who are like, hey, I need to go in the store and try this shit on. But I think people are getting more comfortable now to, like, hey, I'm going to pick a size, and this size will come close. If I don't like it, I'll bring it back, because retailers are allowing you to say, hey, if it doesn't fit, we'll give you the postage to send it back to us. I don't see why that can't happen with shoes. I can't see why that can't happen with shoes. But again, these inner city communities, for the most part, let's not get it twisted. We got a lot of, people who are spending a lot of money on these shoes that, are made for literally pennies on the dollar, and keeping companies like Foot Locker alive, because they got some pretty big margins on some of these, So as you can see, here's Foot Locker. Very ugly looking chart, man. This thing is about to give. But again, I'm pulling up this long-term chart just to show you where it is on this. But yeah, Mr. JRH, definitely $10 Macy's. I'm grabbing it now. It's going for pennies. It's going for pennies. But yes, Anonymous is saying great quality clothes. Yeah, I would give Macy's that. Great quality clothes. They last a long time, especially their 100% cotton products. But I just want to believe that the long-term outlook for the business, the retirees and expenditures that they're already spending money on, that you're going to have like a GM situation where it's just going to be overwhelming. Right? Revenue is drying up. Expenses aren't. And things are just going to get worse. Things are just going to get really worse for the chart. All right. All right, going back to look at what some of you guys were talking about, tickers here, Amazon. I'm not quick to jump on the Amazon thing just yet, man. This thing, I keep going back and forth. Is the company profitable or not? I can't get, when I ask people, everybody I ask comes up with a different answer. And I don't have time to download that 2,000 page 10K to figure it out. Their 10K is ridiculous. Have you pulled up an Amazon 10K? Man, fuck that shit. Fuck that. I was like, man, I saw that at the 200 megabytes. I was like, fuck that shit. Y'all can have that. But very impressive company. And look, this thing is killing everything in its wake. And it will continue to do so as long as the government doesn't step in. But they're a full-fledged monopoly at this point. Walmart still got the size and the cash, but they need to be scared too. But Walmart's hanging in there. Walmart's hanging in there. But they got to be afraid. They got to be afraid. All right. Macy's on sale, $70 items for $10. Yeah, I look, a lot of Macy's they've already closed some locations. Again, I don't try to guess. I like to go for the easy kills. Well, that's not being a real trader. Okay, then I'm going to be a fake trader then. I'm going to be a fake trader. I like the easy trades, the common sense trades. I'll be a rich fake trader. That's what I want to be. Because you got some guys out here, well, you got to be a real trader, man. You got to be able to see where the breakdown is about to happen. And they come on, man. All right. Shout out to the marijuana companies. We saw that nice little bounce in the marijuana that happened a day or two ago. We had Altria come in and take a $1.something billion stake in an MJ play. Very, very impressive in Kronos. Very impressive. It just goes to show you the fact that these companies finally, are the real deal. I'd like to see some OTC companies get some love, right? I know Canopy Growth is starting to get some love out there in the market. I mean, I'd love to see some of the other ones that, the cans of the world, right? I'd love to see some of the cans of the world start getting some love. All right. And I don't know what's going on here, man. Not all cannabis companies are equal. Not all cannabis companies are equal, but I know you got some people. I still look at Twitter. I still look at Investors Hub. They're not, these OTC MJ plays aren't getting the love. They aren't getting the love. All right. They're supposed to be opening cashier-less grocery stores too. Yeah, it's happening, man. A lot of big things are going to be happening over the next 5 years, man, in terms of technology and stuff like that. What's going on, Jeff the Me Marine? Yeah, Shopify is an interesting play. Thank you for bringing that up. Kenny Dutton, you're next with that BHC. Shopify is an interesting, if you remember, Andrew Left called Shopify a scam at I think he was at 100, right? I think we were like at 100 at the time. You can look that up. He called Shopify a scam at 100. In fact, I think this was that when he did that, and came down pretty aggressively. And boy, it's not much higher since then. But of course, you've had some nice peaks in Shopify. But they've got it's an interesting company. And again, it's another company that kind of moves through by hype, right? It's kind of got that Herbalife vibe to it. Hey, You get to sign up. You get to sign up. Invite 4 or 5 friends. Plays on the dreams and hopes of poor minorities and shit like that. So, this is another one that could be vulnerable in the future, but for right now, it's all right. It's all right. I felt the same way by, I kind of put that in the same category. Grub, these kind of tech plays. These tech plays. That's very interesting here. Grub is another one that I was watching. Again, beautiful. Here's that 25 moving average again, cracking that 50 RSI, man. When you beneath that, it's game over. It's game over. Beautiful play there on Grub. Another component of IWM. Beautiful ETF. This is an ETF of shitty companies. Highly, overly leveraged companies in one ETF. You can't get much shittier than that. You can't get shittier than IWM. Let's go to look at this. You want to talk about downside potential? You want to talk about I want to keep talking about this because I'm so excited about how much money I'm going to be making on these puts. I'm so excited. Really excited. What's going on, Legendary Eights? CIA wants lazy people into marijuana. Yeah, look, I think now I'm seeing they're gonna. The state of Washington is trying to put shrooms on the 2020 ballot. The mushrooms, little shrooms. Look, it's very interesting, man. What's going to happen with that? Yeah, here's IWM. Again, the 25 moving average, it basically copies the RSI here at the bottom. So when you get to below that, you're pretty much below the 50 RSI. But I just want to be in it, man. You guys saw, I posted it today on my Twitter, Got Penny Stocks. Made a killing on IWM. Any tips on commodities? Nah, I don't know anything about commodities, man. The futures, I don't know too much about commodities. Now, when you want to talk about, GLD and commodity-based equity plays, we can talk that, We can talk some of these, leveraged plays, 3X leveraged plays like JNUG that are really beautiful right now. Again, I'm not a millionaire, so I can't put money all the places I want to put money. But I'm looking at JNUG. JNUG is a very interesting play. It's crossed, I believe, the 10. Yeah, there we go. Trying to fight that 10 moving average on the weekly. That will get it exciting once it goes above that 10 moving average. I want to see the plays real. That the love for gold is real again. What's it? Nat Gas. I think there's some Nat Gas plays. Somebody give me a good Nat Gas play. Inverse long. How UGAS? Yeah, natural gas is turning around here. All right, seeing natural gas go up a little bit. So I mean, we got some other commodities out there, but again, I don't know. Right now, I think you just got so much. There's so much potential to just buy puts on these horrible companies. Thank you, UGAS, Drip. Yeah, Drip is another one. Drip is another one. Oil and gas play. All right. Got some natural gas in there as well. All right. So they're again, stick to a long-term chart. Use a moving average and look, play it. Here's the beautiful break. Here again, look at that beautiful break. 25 mover at buck up above here. Jump in. You got taken out back in 2018, and again that's happened because nothing is 100%. But as you can see here, this does pretty well above that moving average. Does pretty well above that. All right. And if you're more cautious, then go up to a higher one. Go to 50 if you want to. All right, you'll get in late, but hell, you'll be pretty accurate, even more accurate. All right. XXII. Let me see. What was Dutton's play again? BHC. That was curious to me because I haven't looked at BHC in a minute. Pharmaceutical health play. It's been really interesting because since Trump has practically killed the Obama healthcare plan, slashed their budget to advertise for the plan. I think when's the last day? I think the last day is in a couple days here, right? So you're probably going to see probably the lowest turnout for the plan since its creation. A lot of these insurance companies got beat up on that because you're just not going to have the money coming into the system like that. So I haven't really been paying attention to healthcare like maybe we could have been doing if Obamacare was kind of the thing. So healthcare is just kind of there right now. Shirley Lewis, you're saying DM. You sent me a DM where? Or just put it in a text, or just put it here in the chat room if you can. Because I'm not seeing a DM on my Twitter. All right. So again, put your ticker in the chat room if you want us to take a look at it, or give me a call, 305-600-2896. Let's talk about your play or what you're looking at right now. Hey, let's see what else. XXII. Yeah, let's take a look at XXII. This is another MJ play. And again, we just kind of got done talking about them. Again, not all MJ plays are the same. They're not all the same. Some of them are better operations than others. And these big companies, and we knew it was going to happen, right? Some of these big companies were going to step in and acquire some of these MJ plays. But they're going to go after the most robust of the pack. They're going to go after the Chronos, like the Canopy Growths, right? They're going to go after those first. They're going to go after those first. All right. I know you can pull up the MJ index and look at some of those. The one, that Tiger 21 stock, I can't remember what it was. But off the top of my head, another MJ play. Again, I haven't been paying attention to it. I've just been so in love with the way the market has been selling off. EPE. Yeah. EPE, another kind. This is kind of failing. All right, so weekly ass. Yeah, this is losing its ass, and it's been losing its ass for quite a while now. Been losing its ass for quite a while now. EPE. That's what's up. SPX puts weeklies. Yeah, I like SPX. It's not the cheapest way to play the markets, but very liquid. You can get in and out, and you can make some good money if you got a great eye for things. And SPX can really build your account if you know what you're doing. All right, not the cheapest way to play, and a lot of guys just go for the SPY, and they move certainly. The SPX is basically just 10x of the SPY, but a great way to make some good money, in the markets, because you don't have to buy 50 damn puts to make a return like you do on the SPY. Sometimes you got to go heavy, and that can increase the cost of your trade. So guys go into the SPX, you'll get 2-3 calls. You can lower that cost, but it'll just cost you a little bit more overall. All right. NHPI. Okay. All right. Shout out to some of you guys still playing these 2-cent stocks, man. Shout out to you guys playing these 2-cent stocks. All right. Let me round of applause for that. Y'all playing these 2-cent stocks. Made a killing. Somebody made a killing on it. Somebody made a killing on that. That's a nice little pump there, man. That's a nice little pump there, as you can see here. I don't want to put the volume in there, but obviously you had some volume come into this stock and move things here. So shout out to the guys who got into that. Do I play? Yeah. I'm in there, but I don't talk. I just listen. I just listen, and it's good background. But sometimes, man, like I would love it if inside that room they actually said, "Okay, guys, we're gonna go into these Netflix so and so called date." Sometimes they don't do that. They'll be like, "All right, guys, I'm in the Netflix play." And you're like, "Damn, well, I mean, were you gonna tell anyone?" So, but yeah, shout out to Tim and Maria. They're killing it every day there. But you got to understand, those people are working with a lot of cash. And if you're a small trader, that may not be the best way to go. I think getting yourself acclimated to their option flow and realizing how to use that screen for yourself. And then once you're comfortable and you got some cash to work with, then go into that chat room. But yeah, Black Box is the shit. I love Black Box. Shout out to Black Box. They're a huge sponsor of mine. Send me a nice check every month. And I will promote that until, the end of time, as long as they exist. Blackboxtrader.org. Check it out. That's my link. AES, Shirley Lewis. AES. Utilities. Okay, it's safe stock. All right, utilities. I mean, this is very safe. I mean, look, if you're looking to, it's a good one. I mean, it's a good one, but god damn, man, February up $5. Well, it's not. I guess it's not. It's pretty good money over the course of a year. That's not bad. Actually, this is a pretty nice play. Let's see that monthly. It's actually all right. So as you can see, it's had better days. AES is the ticker, looking like it's about to. Okay, well, looking real nice here. You kind of hot. But utilities, very safe. Very safe. And if that's kind of your thing, by all means, go for it. Been hot since March. Very hot since March. How's Connor's chat room? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Connor's chat room. I know he's got a thing with some other guy there and stuff like that. They're selling their little thing, getting people into trading and whatnot. But you guys know I don't shove it down people's throat like join my this, join my that. I just feel like people can study on their own, and then when you feel like you need that badly, then go join that. A lot of people, they don't know anything, and they just go join that, and they end up paying a couple months that it doesn't help them because they don't even have the fundamentals down, and they just end up getting frustrated. All right? What else you guys are looking at? All right? Another idea I want to put out there. All right, great put ideas. Netflix, all right. Netflix was ridiculous at 169 PE. Now they're at 91. It's cooled down, really, really a lot since June. Very aggressively since June. 169 times earnings. That was ridiculous, right? $169 for every $1 of earnings. Now at 91, it's still high. Right? Yes, they got a great product. And a lot of people are cutting the cord. But at the end, it doesn't change the fact that this is still a very expensive stock at 91 times earnings. Still very, very expensive. All right? Still very expensive. And they spend a lot of money in order to produce their own content. And they're hemorrhaging a lot of cash over there at Netflix. In fact, you want to do some research on it, but Netflix is another, again, high probability trade to the downside. I mean, you can, again, it's in these long-term charts. You can see it for yourself. So we're going to get that test very soon Last 3 months, all right? Last 3 months, red months for Netflix. I don't see a change happening in the next month. And in December, I don't see a change, right? This is December right here building up as we speak. I don't see a change in that. I don't see a change for January or February. If somebody has a different outlook, please give me a call and let me know. But I don't see a change in that and that happening for Netflix. So again, another high probability trade to the downside. If you got the cash, go with a deep in the money put. If you don't have much money, then why not get an out of the money put with a lot of time on it, just in case if you're not right, you can sell that time value back into the market. So you can go where it is, that we're at 269 now. Gosh, you can go with a 225 or 250 that is 2 months, 3 months out. 2 months, 3 months out. You might not have incredible volume on it, but again, if that time value, if you're not right, you can sell it back in the market and not lose your ass. All right, and not lose your ass too much. But again, if you can afford it, then a 30-day option that's deep in the money, $5, $10, $20 if you can, and then just write it down. All right. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. 100 million for friends. I mean, again, they're cash rich right now, but they spend a lot. They churn a lot of cash. A lot of cash. What are some good options trading study recommendations? Hit up my boy at what's Option Alpha. There we go. Optionalpha.com. Optionalpha.com. He teaches the fundamentals, and all his 12 of his courses are like free. He's got a premium version, but he's got a 10-hour course that's like free of charge. Optionalpha.com. All right. Take a look at Gamer. Let's look at Gamer. And then we're going to look at your FAZ here. All right. OTC stock. All right. Above the 50 RSI. Like to see a little bit more volume then. I mean, it's a cheap stock. When you see a penny stock, that's literally a penny, and it's trading 1.4 million shares, that's not a lot. That's a couple hundred. That's like a couple $100,000. That's like a couple $100,000. I mean, don't mean it can't move it, right? If it's a low float, right? It doesn't mean it can't move it, but you want to see a little bit more volume than that. I mean, it's literally a 1 cent stock, and it traded 1.4 million shares. That's literally a couple 100,000. That's literally a couple 100,000. I don't want to do the math, but it's not that much. In fact, I would suspect there weren't even 100 trades on that today. I would suspect. All right. FAZ. FAZ is a really interesting one. Again, this is your inverse ETF. This goes up when financials go down. FAZ is another one. It's really nice. I like these inverse ETFs. In fact, I built my website back up, Advanced Equity Research. Shout out to all the PTOTF haters, man. They as I told you, they hacked my website. I took my website down. I forgot the theme I used on the website. It ended up, so now I got my site back up, but it's a shitty version of it. I gotta find. I can't remember what theme I had on the old site. And those of you guys who know what WordPress is, they're like 1 million WordPress themes. So I got an article talking about the top inverse ETFs for 2019. You can check that on my website, advancedequityresearch.com. Advancedequityresearch.com. I don't think FAZ is one of them, but it's definitely one to pay attention to going in, because again, these inverse ETFs, especially these highly leveraged ones, they reset every day. So, if you hold for a couple days, it can really compound those gains for you, being if it goes in the right direction, right? Being if it goes in the right direction. They can hurt you too on a big green day for the financials. Then, of course, the inverse will take a huge hit. will take a huge hit. People out in the U.S. love Friends. Yeah, people out in the U.S., they love Friends. You know, they're going to watch it. They're going to watch it. Of course, you know, they're going to watch it. You know, some of them are worth that much. You know, I think it's a lot for an old show, but people are going to watch it. People are going to watch it. Of course, the better ROI is on your self-produced content, right? So Netflix does spend quite a bit of money making their own shows because it's cheaper to make your own shows than to buy a show, because you got to, of course, pay for the show and then pay a residual. But, you know, there it is. I think the Chinese SOH comp has bottomed out. Yeah, we'll take a look at that. Did I hear? Yeah, I heard what happened. I'm the one. I was like the second guy to break that optionseller.com situation. Look through my my Twitter account. That option seller, I was all over that when I found out that same day it happened. That video came out. I just want you to know that I'm very sorry. We lost all of your money, $78 million, and we are sorry. I would slap the shit out. You lost $78 million of my money? I'm slapping the shit out of you. I'm cutting your balls off. I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail that night. They lost $78 million. Some people say it's more. Some people say it's more. And I didn't even know people were getting money like that. You telling me you can create a website, be a half-ass trader, convince people to give you that kind of money? Give you that kind of, they really getting it like that? Who knew about optionsellers.com? You know, they had a shitty website. They weren't, you know, it was just kind of one of those companies that was just out there. I didn't know they were getting that kind of money. You know? I didn't know they were getting that kind of money. I was on my way to that direction, and then that penny stock movie came out, Wolf on Wall Street, fucked up my whole shit. Fucked up my whole shit. Everybody's, oh, that's a fucking scam. Ah! You know. But you can see some of my old videos. I was headed right in that direction. But I'm actually glad. I'm actually glad that that movie came out and shut me out, because it got me into, you know, legitimate ways to procure resources. Y'all would have seen my face on the FBI poster or something like that, because I think I was headed in the wrong direction. In hindsight, you know what I mean? A lot of traders lose their entire accounts on DGAS. Yeah, when that spike happened. Yeah. Yeah, man. They didn't hedge and took big risk, you know, and it is what it is. You know, and they didn't do it because it was working for a long time. Whatever they were doing was working for a long time, and the market is smart, man. It'll catch you. Oh, you think it's easy? Okay. Boom. Now it's not. That's it, man. You know. And that was like the real second thing that happened. If you remember that VIX spike at the beginning of the year, you guys remember that. That VIX spike we had at the beginning of the year. You know, a lot of guys went ass up on that. A lot of guys went ass up on that on some of those VIX leveraged ETFs. They were shorting the shit out of the VIX for months, right? You had articles coming out, VIX millionaires. Some guy who worked at like Target or something. What were those VIX ETFs? I mean, I know some of them are gone now, but yeah, it was VXX. Guys were shorting VXX. Every time it would pop, they would short it. Right? They would short it, and it would go down, hold these positions, hold them, and they would just short it on the spikes. Well, there were a couple spikes that happened. Guys went all in and got their asses handed to them. They got their asses handed to them. That was the beginning of the year, you know. They got their asses handed to them. I mean, R. Kelly style, you know. You know.
I believe I can tell.
You know. Got killed. That's what happened, man. Vix had 50 reverse splits. T-Vix is worth about 5. Yeah, man, T-Vix is, you know. But again, T-Vix can make you money because it's very liquid too. I mean, again, if you catch it on the right, in the right area. Facebook is still high. Buyback saved it from cratering. Yeah, here's the thing about Facebook. At the end of the day, Facebook is going to be a nice little bounce play for the next couple days, though. So don't sleep on Facebook over the next 2 days. I mean, it's gonna be a nice little bounce here. It could continue to sell off, at least in the medium term, right? You still have over 100 million people on their WhatsApp platform that they haven't monetized yet, and they still have their very valuable Instagram platform. So, you know, Facebook itself, yeah, may be losing some steam. I love the Facebook Marketplace. They're really pushing that lately. If you've been on Facebook, you've seen how they're really kind of pushing that marketplace thing where you're seeing the cars and people who are locally selling things in your area. So they're trying to create another like thing there with Facebook. But they still have some very valuable properties there that are going to make them a lot of money into the future. But obviously, yes, something in the Facebook platform has to change. Has to be tweaked there to get that engagement back up. Because, you know, it feels different being on Facebook now than it did a couple years ago. I think it meant a little bit more a couple years ago. Now it's just kind of like, you know, it just doesn't have that same oomph that you had 5 years ago, you know, because now it's kind of full of a lot of bullshit. It's kind of full of a lot of bullshit, a lot of, you know, things that just that lower its value to you, right? A couple years ago, you were just a little bit more sensitive of what you would put on there. You were a little bit more sensitive to how other people would view your content, and it's just not like that anymore. And they need to get that back. All right. You think Facebook still? I think Facebook still drops. Again, I agree with you. I'm talking about this week. You should get at least a bounce on Facebook. I still think this week we end the week with a more expensive Facebook, you know, than we are now. I mean, you can see it in the chart. Here's the hourly chart. You can see it developing. It's literally in the chart right here. Here's the 60-minute. Each candlestick being 60 minutes. All right, so you can see it in the chart. You're getting a bounce started here. All right, bouncing off that low RSI. You got your higher low here, so you're getting movement happening here. All right, where are we at? All right, so yeah, you're creeping. You're about to break that 50 RSI to the high side. So it's starting. All right, let me get an arrow up on. Here it is, right here. You can literally see it. You know, it's you're gonna be moving right just like that. Again, it's gonna be today, possibly tomorrow. You know, but yes, I agree with you. It'll go something like this, and it'll probably come down. But short term, you're gonna get that nice little RSI bounce. Yes, Corey Kwan is right. You know, my thing is you don't even have to. It's not even a price-driven thing. Just use the moving averages. The moving average will turn. You know, it'll turn. It'll come up with it, and then once it gets below it, then you can go ahead and short. You know, but if you want to set a price, then fine. You can set a price as well, but I don't know how high it could go because you don't want to say short at 145 and then it goes to 150, 155. Now you're losing your ass. Follow your indicator. Follow your indicator. Just let it tell you when to get back into it on the put side. You know, you don't want to guess the top. You don't have to. TVPT Travelport Worldwide. Don't know too much about this company. Don't know anything about this company, actually, TVPT. So you're going to have to let me know about it. Again, give me a call, 305-600-2896. 646, I think this is Ken on the line. What's up?
Hey, what's up? How are you?
Ken, what's going
seen or
on,
heard
dude?
from you in a long. What's going on? NHPI made my year. I put 4 million shares of it at 007. Sold 2 million at 193. Riding the rest. Maybe I'll sell some more. I don't know.
So what was the deal here? I mean, what drove this higher? I mean, penny stock, incredible volume. What drove the story here?
This Woodstock company group, and I think it was a coordinated effort. You know, the Sunnyland guy. He had that BYOC a year ago. His group pumped that up at 0001. It went all the way to 15 cents. His group's behind it.
Very impressive. Very impressive.
It just is.
You don't want to be a bag holder. The people watching as beginners, don't be a bag holder here. Obviously, he's going to cool down here. But Ken has been in it, as he said, from the beginning. So he's made a shitload of money on this, and now you don't want to be the guy he sells to because. Or Ken, are you already out?
I had sold half the position on Thursday. I sold it at 0.0193 at 2 million shares. Sure. I have a couple million left. So, I'll just slowly peel shares off at each price level. The people on these boards, these IHUB boards, it's going to a nickel, it's going to a dime, it's going to 30 cents, I know the game. So
absolutely.
You got to be careful.
Yeah, got to be careful. But I mean, again, shout out to you for making that monster kill on this. I mean, what a return, man. What a return.
Thank you. Yeah, it's nice to hit them. It's nice when you get a good one like this. This one, I'm in this market. This whole market's been something else. You must be doing so well on your puts and your put. I mean, I remember you were talking in March and April. And boy,
no, I went all in, bro. I went all in. I mean, IWM, all the shitty plays, all the. I went all in. Netflix. I'm up heavy, but again, not to brag, not to brag, but again,
no. I mean, you taught us all.
Trying to just build that account, and but things take time, man. So I'm just really excited, and we know that we got a lot more meat on that bone to cut out when we talk about some of these stocks, especially on some of these FANG plays.
Yeah, but volatility is really great for people playing the calls and inputs now.
Absolutely.
So it's good stuff. Anyway, I got to go to bed. I just had a call in about this because it was like a really nice score here. I'm very feel good about it.
Absolutely. Congrats, Ken. Thank you for the call, man.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good night.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Ken. That guy just kills it, man. He's again, I don't know if Ken will ever tell me the inside tracks that he has on these plays, but again, I think he just sticks his nose in the ground and finds where the conversations are bubbling up, and he just gets in, and again, as he just told you, I mean, he finds out who's going to be running what, who's going to be doing this and that, and he jumps on board, and it works for him time and time and time again. Fuzz and some of the other plays that I don't even want to mention because they're all like basically in the dirt now, but stocks that spike and that move. So whoever was that guy was talking about Gamer, pull up that NHPI stock, and that's the kind of volume you want to see. Now, look, you want to get in. If you want to get in this now, you can get in it now and see what happens. But that kind of volume is what you want to start seeing happening in this play. Once you start seeing that kind of volume coming in, dude, run it, and then see what happens. And I wish you the best. All right. All right, so let's see what else you guys crushed CCTL a couple weeks ago. Isn't that cold China Ceramics? Oh, okay, China Ceramics. Yeah, all these fake Chinese companies lost their ass a couple years ago. Ken, okay, yeah, Ken said that's the key. Yeah, I mean, again, he mentioned it on his call. Ken mentioned it. Investors Hub. You got to get on those boards and just be paying attention to what they're doing. And, looking at where volume is coming in on some of these tickers that are either dead or just slowly, so you're seeing somebody accumulate on level 2, buying big bags of it, and you can really jump onto some huge winners that way. That is correct. Do I use the daily at all for opening position? Sometimes blue. Sometimes. But I preferably I like to use the weekly charts, even though again I know that I'm going in late because again, if you're going in using a weekly signal, 9 times out of 10 on the lower time frames, the daily, it already showed it, right? It already kind of happened. So it's okay though, because I know then that means the trend is truly headed in that direction. Thoughts on marijuana with the Farm Bill this week? Look, you can already see some of the conversations in regards to the Farm Bill being a failure. Look that up. Farm Bill money going to city slickers. I think that's the title of it or something like that. So a lot of that Farm Bill money isn't even going into the hands of people that need it the most. So, again, not all MJ plays are the same. So, again, if you're going to be playing MJ on that kind of news, you want to be making sure you're picking the best of the best, right? You're going to be picking companies that are actually going to get a piece of that, because many of these OTC traded MJ stocks could bounce on it, but it's not going to give you a sustained run. Somebody's talking about Pred. Yeah, I did see you say that Pred bounced. I'm going to be interesting to see what Pred is going to do. I did see that tweet, Ken, that you had loaded there on Pred. I want to see it. Yeah, let's see it break. Let's see it break that 50 RSI. For a stock to run, you've got to break that. And, again, it's coming back to the line here. But we want to see that break successfully and get, another green ticker above that line. So far, we're hanging on top of it. But it's going to be interesting to see Pred do some things. Again, we're going to watch for the volume, too. Volume's still pretty low on the low side of things. But if volume starts to continue, guys are accumulating, if prices are going higher, then Pred could be a very interesting play again. And this is a stock that could run if volume comes in and really takes off. Yeah. And Ken, is the Iceman talking about Pred again? Is he talking about Pred again? Shout out to the Iceman. No hard feelings. No hard feelings. No hard feelings. BA. Yeah, he tried to. He got me on Pred, but I made my people money and I had to keep it moving. No hard feelings, But there's no honesty among thieves, so. Anonymous, what do I think about CFD and TradeNet? I don't know. I never was feeling TradeNet, man. I was never. Again, I think that guy, what's his name? He's hilarious. Watching his live streams, but I don't TradeNet and there's CFD and there's a lot of commotion on what's going on there. I just never. I don't like dealing with that. I had an experience with the foreign brokers with that trader down, that company down in the Bahamas. I forgot even the name now. It eludes me, but I'll just never do that again. Mir Barak. Yeah, Mir Barak is hilarious. Somebody called him out. This clown YouTuber called him out, saying Mir Barak is a liar or something. And, one of those guys on YouTube that's just not really giving you any real insight on anything. Just kind of like, hey, guys, this was my trade today. I just want to let you know I went in here and I sold here at 4 and I'm up here. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Calm down, buddy. And he went and called Mir Barak a liar and CFD is a scam. TradeNet is a scam. And Mir Barak made this video answering that guy. It was hilarious. You're calling me a liar? I am not a liar. I have been a trader for 25 years. I'm not a liar. I am honest. I was like, Mir, you don't have to do that. Embarrassing yourself, you know? You ain't got to do that. Don't even respond to these people, man. He just made that video just to get clicks. Just to get clicks. You know, Mir didn't, you know, he got hustled into that, man. He didn't peep the game. I am not a liar. That was I cracked up when he said that. You know. But shout out to Mir Barak, man. Shout out to Mir Barak. He's a killer trader, man. He's a killer sniper on his feeds, man. That guy's killing it. But he shouldn't feed into the trolls, man. He shouldn't feed into the trolls at all because you know, these guys, you know, they live for YouTube money. They don't actually love trading. They don't really have a heart for this shit. You know, they don't really love it like that. They're not in it for the love of the game. You know, they're in it just to get a bunch of clicks and, you know, that's what they're in it for. You know, and you guys already know I can't stand that financial education guy. Good God, I can't stand that guy. I blocked him on you. I blocked this whole channel. That guy ain't trading shit. I don't care what anybody say. He ain't trading nothing. Financial education. Hey, everybody. Oh, my God. Netflix is up. Oh. Good God. Jeez. OGE. Shout out to the guy who brought that up. Who brought that up? Shirley Lewis. We'll take a look at OGE. We'll take a look at OGE. All right. His name is Financial Education. That's literally the name of his channel, Financial Education. I mean, you can't come up with a more boring channel name than that, but y'all in here know who the hell I'm talking about. No, shout out to Ty Lopez. Ty Lopez is a hustler, man. You know, shout out to Ty Lopez. You know, I respect him. He got it out the mud. You know, although I do think he was a liar about being homeless and living on a farm and all that other bullshit, but you know, he's done his thing too. And he slowed down too, Ty Lopez. Is he still putting out a lot of content? I haven't seen him be as aggressive on the ads as he used to. Maybe them books ain't selling no more like they used to. Them books ain't selling anymore like they used to. I looked at early at your OGE. I mean, again, another utility play. Again, I don't know the quality of these utilities, right? Okay. This is a pretty big one here. $8 billion market cap. Again, utilities, government protected, cash rich, very safe place. They pay dividends. I'm not seeing, is this a dividend paying? All right. So they're very safe. You know, everybody needs power. For the most part, solar and all those again, they haven't played a dent at all into some of these, you know, utility plays. And again, a lot of these utility companies too have made great investments into solar, so you're not going to get the external threats that should be affecting these companies. But again, we have macro forces that are involved there and really limiting some of those companies from really kind of making the impact that they should be, because we've got some really kind of sealed in forces that make us be enslaved to these fossil fuels. But at the end of the day, you know, again, utilities are always going to be there. They're going to be making money. They're kind of recession-proof kind of plays. And in fact, let me go to some of these higher time frames and see how they did back in 2009. All right, so yeah, they still kind of lost their ass. Well, this one did. Again, I don't know how legit of a utility this particular one is. Let me look at like a DTE. As I know that's okay. So yeah, all right. So I guess some of them did lose their ass. MCU 2009, yeah, they did kind of lose their ass on some of these plays. And the first thing that comes to mind, is that, during the recession, a lot of the real estate on these properties, they had debts. They had back due payments, sometimes of months. And a lot of these utility companies had to eat that. Had to eat those losses. But at the end of the day, dividend holders still got paid, though. Dividend holders still got paid. So if that's your thing, as you can see here, it's been a great run for DTE. But again, I'm not familiar with the one that you put up there, OGE. All right. Oh, Anonymous. I didn't say I don't like him. I just think he's goofy. That's all. I'm not saying and that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just not my. He's not just not my cup of tea. That's all. Not my cup of tea. Shout out to Microsoft. Microsoft. If you don't know, Microsoft had. Oh no, you didn't put in Microsoft. You put in. Oh, okay. I'm thinking you put in Microsoft MSFT. You put in MFST. No, okay, yeah, it's the OTC. I don't know what the hell's going on with this one. There's no volume here, sir. Only 9,000 shares traded. 9,000 shares traded of a 6-cent stock. What is that, bro? That's not even $2,000. Is that even $2,000? You're gonna have to do the math on that. But the MSFT for a minute there had a higher market value than, I want to say it was Apple, right? They had a higher market value than Apple for a couple days there. Shout out to Microsoft, man. They've been really able to build a business beyond the OS. They've been an incredible business, man, from hardware to software, the hardware and the gaming side, software as a business, obviously with the OS, the ability for them to continue to make shitload of money on their Microsoft Server products, SQL Server product, Microsoft Office product. They keep businesses buying the software year in and year out. Educational institutions, businesses, governments, right? I mean, they created an incredible business now with their cloud solutions. It's an amazing business, man, and they've just been rocking and rolling, man. I mean, it's been very, very impressive to see. Look at that chart, man. Look at that chart. And again, there's gonna be it's too far to look at now, but is that going to lose some in a recession? Yes, obviously. School systems are going to be tight on cash. Governments will be tight on cash. Businesses, of course, and sales will come down accordingly. But just to talk about how they built a business over the last since 2009. If you remember, for a long time, Microsoft used to be that company that the stock wasn't doing anything for years. The stock wasn't doing anything from years. Those of you guys who are young enough, and if you had those, you had one of those schools that they did a stock market game, Microsoft would always be kind of one of those ones you would talk about in investing in, but you'd lose because the stock didn't go anywhere. And Microsoft just figured it out since 2009, 2010. Again, I think a lot of things had to do with that was their Xbox hardware situation there. Really played a part. Money Green, you said they have a monopoly. Microsoft does? Yeah. So does Amazon. And our country doesn't seem to be willing to do anything about it. And so they're going to continue to make money. They're going to continue to make a lot of money. Yes, indeed. All right. They're going to continue to make a lot of money because of that. Y'all need to know CMGO CEO owns 51% of Gamer. Yeah, I mean, when it starts moving, we'll jump on it, man. When it starts moving, we'll jump on it. But right now, we're off that hope and pray game over here, man. We off that. We off that hope and pray game over here. Let us see you move, and then we'll jump on. Let's see you do something. Don't worry, guys. We'll jump on the stock when you actually do something. That's the thing about a lot of guys who want to come on the show and pump plays. And like nobody wants to be your fool. And I'm not saying you're trying to do that. I'm just saying, like, at the beginning when I first started the show, I was bringing guys on. And, like we off that shit, man. Let's see something in the chart. And then, let traders then make an intelligent decision to be a part of it. But don't show me something at 0001, 0002, hasn't done anything in 5 years, and then tell me, hey, man, this is an exciting play. You need to get in it right now. It's about to move. Oh, why? Gamer's the new darling. Let's see it move, man. Let's see it move. Let's see the volume, Let's see the volume. Let's see it move. Don't tell me, show me. I'm seeing now we're above the 50-yard side. Let's start seeing that volume. I'll be excited to talk about it. Money Green says, "Yeah, I'm done with those kind of plays." Yeah, I'm again, if they want to talk about it, I'll talk about it, but I ain't putting my money in that shit. I'll be the first one to tell you I ain't putting $1 into that. We can talk about it. You ain't getting my money, though. You ain't getting my money, though. Dry ships. Been there, done that. When it comes to those kind of plays. DRYS, dry ships. Man, it's been a minute since I pulled up dries, bro. I haven't checked up on this stock at all or what it's been doing. The fact that people still have the courage to trade this is just beyond me. They've had, 20, 30 reverse splits by now? I mean, that float should be like below 10 million. Hell, below 5 million, as many splits as this stock has had. But shout out to Dries at 550 now a share. What's the market cap at here? 490 million. A very interesting business, very valuable business, but again, you got a CEO there that's been exposed on a lot of things and has been connected to a lot of really shady dealings in terms of its price, in terms of the way the stock trades, excuse me. INNT was an interesting play today. Again, news really got this one. Was it a news play? Was this a news play? I saw it move today. And again, I just don't like these kind of plays where, the stock's been losing its ass for a long time. And just one day everybody just jumps into it because what you'll see here is a huge red day, typically the next day. Sometimes, yeah, you'll get those kind of 3 in a row, kind of like, wow, what's going on here? But I wouldn't be surprised to see this sell off tomorrow. We'll see if the volume can continue to maintain itself. But very interesting here to see the stock hit the 50 and then just cool off like that. So we'll see whether or not this is the real deal tomorrow on INNT. Again, this is the kind of chasing kind of thing where that happens too much in penny stocks, where you kind of get this kind of chasing behavior. Nice move though from the morning, as you can see here. This was a nice move into the morning. You had some guys dump at these higher levels, and then you got picked back up here. But it's going to be really interesting to see how this trades tomorrow. After hours now, they got to look decent close, but we'll see tomorrow whether or not you got support at these higher prices. Again, typically you're going to have guys holding bags. Typically you're going to have guys holding bags when that happens. All right? What's going on, Kelly Rob? Yeah, GM is going to be, look, GM's got some things going on there at GM with the, closing up of some workers. In the end, I think it'll be good for the company to get lean and mean. You got people kind of pissed off because they got the bailout, and now we're seeing the bailout. Some people are saying the bailout didn't help. It did. It actually did help. It kept GM around. It kept GM around from those recessionary days. But obviously, what's going on with Trump and these tariffs, and this tariff war didn't even have to start. That's the sad thing. This tariff war didn't even have to start. And we're getting a lot of companies being affected by it. And in the end, the Chinese are going to win. The Chinese are going to whip our ass when this trade war. You got to understand, these Chinese people, man, read some books on how Chinese people think. And these people think in terms of like 100 years, 300 years. All right? And at the end of the day, this is the United States of America. You cannot convince somebody in 2018, 2019 to feel proud about making flip-flops for a living. It's not going to happen. Nobody wants to raise their child to go make iPhones. That's got to be done over there. We don't need that shit. I don't care if you're making $18 an hour doing it. You're not, something in you as an American is not going to feel proud to do that for a living. Now, depending on your background, if you're from a blue collar background, you're proud of just being able to pay bills and own a home, and that might be good enough. But for a lot of people, that's not good enough. They don't want that life. They don't want that life. So that's why that shit's got to be done there. It's the cost too much to do it here. What's going on, Mace? Thoughts on Cron? Yeah, great investment. I mean, we talked about Cron here earlier a little bit in the show. Great investment. And but the thing about it is I think the hype will cool down a little bit. I think you're up pretty big on it. I don't know if it's going to build up on it. As you can see here, the last 2 trading days already, looking at these candlesticks, it tells me that, although they're impressed by the investment, at the end of the day, is still not there just yet. We'll see. But I think it sells off. Looking at these candlesticks, you're having some trouble here maintaining these levels here. But decent gain today, right? Great volume. But these candlesticks give me a little bit of cautious, at least in the short term. But all of these marijuana companies, these well-financed ones, they're going to do well. They're going to do well over the next couple of years. They're going to do well over the next couple of years. They're going to get cash heavy. People like to smoke. And they're going to make good money. So, but again, if interest rates increase, we get into a recession, it's all coming down. Don't matter how good the company could be going. You're not going to find many companies that do well in a recession in terms of, stocks going higher. You're not going to see that. DPG. What is that, DPG? Is that what you're... Who put that in there? Okay, I thought I saw DPG. Somebody talked about that. That's a lot of money over there. Real money, no credit, no money. Yeah, the easy plays to the downside, Big Lots. Big Lots is one of them. We talked about that earlier in the show. I'm going to wrap up here in a bit, but, these are kind of plays here. Navient. Yeah, this is another one. This is what Sally Mae, right? This is basically Sally Mae. This is going to be a big loser. Don't know too much about what's the story here, but again, this could be a really great situation to play on the fact that a lot of people are going to foreclose on these student loans. That's going to happen. That's just going to happen. I'm looking at my generation. They're not going to pay those loans back. It's just you're out of your mind if you think people are going to pay these loans back. You got guys who went some of these third-rate schools like University of Phoenix or something like that, $70,000, $80,000 in loans. You think they're going to pay that back? They're not going to pay that shit back. And I don't say that to insult those schools because, people make a good living and have gone to those schools. But I'm talking about paying those loans. They're not going to pay them back. They're not going to pay them back. Forget about it. Okay? CRMD, penny stock. Nice little chart there, showing a little bit of support there. That's building off of. All right, do your research. CRMD. Yeah, okay. They handle student Sallie Mae. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, and again, that's that's a sad situation in itself when we talk about the cost of education in America. It's ridiculous. You go to some of these third world countries, and they go to college for basically nothing. All right, they go to college for basically nothing, because they don't have a student loan system that is artificially inflated by cheap loans. Right, these student loans are easy to get, and they artificially increase the cost of college and create these huge bubbles where third-rate schools get to charge $30,000, $40,000 for you to go to, and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. How some of these schools are just finessing students into getting, really, really shady educations for that kind of cost. And that's why people from other countries, from Pakistan, from India, from Singapore and Korea, they come to America, and in a year or two, they're doing better than people who've been living here all their life. Why? Because they come here debt-free with college educations that they paid very little or nothing for, and they're able to take the resources they make and put them directly into a great life. Whereas an American paying $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for school, coming out, now you got loans, you've been put into the credit system, you're fucked up, and it's shitty. And that's why you go through some of these great neighborhoods all across America, and they're filled with people from Middle East and all these countries, and they're living better than Americans. Let's see here. Let's keep it moving. XEC, energy play. Rough looking chart. Are you playing it to the downside? Rough looking chart. Let's go to a higher time frame. See how ugly this boy is. Okay, so again, I don't know. Obviously, probably playing it to the downside here. You're gonna have to let me know what the case is here too. But I'm looking at possibly a bounce here any time soon now. Maybe a little bit more of it to go, but you're almost out there on XEC. On XEC. Yeah, wow, yeah, Money Green. I mean, that's just what it is. These guys coming from Pakistan, India, master's degrees, PhD from University Gagabo in Jalalabad, and making six figures. Straight profit, all going straight into his bank account. No loans, no nothing. So applies for a credit card. He gets a $50,000, $75,000 line of credit. And he gets the lowest interest rate loan for homes. And an American citizen. You can't even qualify for a house because you got student loans. It's really fucked up. It's really fucked up. Six Vision, they said they have courses. Yeah, right now, yeah. Now, You can just go get yourself. But again, that's not, the system isn't. If you're in high school today, there's more pressure to go to college now than it was when I was in school. And I was in high school now, almost, 04, 05, almost 14 years ago now, So, the hype is still there. Go to college. Where are you going to college? Where are you going to college? Where are you going to college? When a lot of these kids shouldn't go to college. They should just go get a nice little certificate. Go get your CCNA or go get a nice little IT, Cisco or Linux thing, and go make yourself $60,000 a year. You can go make yourself $60,000 a year on the back of an $8,000 or $9,000 boot camp. You know what I'm saying? But again, when you go to these high schools and the academic counselor who's getting a kickback 9 times out of 10, and that kickback sometimes not even financial, it's T-shirts and mugs and from this university and that university, and free lunch, free tickets to make sure you go to, Buck South College. That's just what it is. Somebody's bringing up IMDZ. Shirley Lewis, not. All right, so you're getting a 2-month bounce there. Let's zoom in a little bit on a lower time frame here. Okay, so low RSI bounce here, and on the monthly. Let's zoom in on it a little bit more, covering the gap here. Again, this is. I like the trade, but now you're just somebody's going to be selling to you at this point. A move like this, you want to catch it when it breaks a moving average, like I like the 25 moving average. Now you're providing profits to somebody. You go on a play like this now. Not saying it won't keep going, but you're buying somebody out at this point. You're buying somebody out, and you could very well hit a red day here any day now, and it could turn the whole thing around. So I like where you're going with the trade, but look for a setup that's similar to this, that's, in the early stages. But this is not, this is not the kind of trade you want to be going into right now. I mean, it's just not. And again, man, you want to step, and Shirley Lewis, you're giving me some good tickers. Why go down to something like this? Why go down to something like this? Money Green, you said $500,000 and $600,000 houses. Oh yeah, man. Look, these people come here from Pakistan or India. This is paradise. This is paradise, man. That's the hustle. That H1 hustle is the real deal. H1B hustle is the real deal. These people go hard, and these IT. I've been reading on what they're doing. A lot of those, they got like little brain dumps that they study for of these IT certifications. They study all the answers, and they go in and they take the test, and they apply from India for those jobs. Some of them don't even know how to fucking do the job. They learn how to do it because the Indians, what they'll do is they don't even know how to really legit do the job. But once they get on board with the companies, their fellow Indians will teach them how to do it. They'll teach them on the job how to do it. So they're finessing the system totally with these brain dumps and whatnot. Yeah. It's some crazy shit. SD, PayPal. Corey Kwan said they learned ICDC college. Oh, man. Does ICDC still exist? ICDC college. Shout out to PayPal. It's really interesting now. PayPal, I think they're no longer on eBay, right? It's kind of funny now. No, I think they're still doing something. But I know eBay and PayPal are supposed to break up. I think it's sometime in 2019. It's going to be really interesting to see how that works out. Mm, 5 years ago, Braintree. Yeah, sometime in 2019 that's going to work out for them. So we'll see how that works out for PayPal and eBay. As you can see, eBay's been struggling. All right. And you can still find some really good deals on eBay, but Amazon is getting real close, man. Amazon is getting to a point now where it's just like, ugh. Unless it's a real specialty item, you could probably find that shit on Amazon for a very similar or close price. And you got to get the Prime, so you get the 2-day shipping. Some of these assholes on eBay, they'll hold your package for a week and a half. Most part, 99% of sellers on eBay are good. But I've had some experiences where, I've had to, get that PayPal, regret that button where you get your money back or whatever. DNLI, open up a case. All right, so let's zoom. God damn, it's like not much going on here on DNLI. Not much trading history to go on here. Company is hemorrhaging cash. Biotech, I can't stand biotech. I don't like it. Very unpredictable. Gotta really hope and pray. It's kind of biotech is such a hope and pray kind of business. Just can't stand biotech. Just such a hope and pray kind of business. I don't, FedEx. I like FedEx as a business, man. I mean, FedEx as a business makes a lot of sense. I don't know what's going on here. Going on here. You're gonna have to do some research on FedEx, but wow, huge hit on FedEx. I'll play the bounce here, man. I'd play the bounce here on FedEx, dude. Here's FedEx. Nice little candlestick. So you got the bottom here. I'll play that RSI bounce that's about to happen here on FedEx. You're gonna get a nice little RSI bounce on FedEx here. In fact, I might play this tomorrow, man. I might play this tomorrow over the next day and a half. We'll see how this plays out, but you're gonna get a nice little RSI bounce on this. All right. Again, I'm gonna have to do some little more research on it, but management shakeup. Okay, looks like some management issues had made FedEx change made to management to its express service, leading to a downgrade. Okay. The company made the decision to change its CEO, leading Bank of America to downgrade the stock. Okay. A little bit of a downgrade there. Yeah, I'd play the bounce on that, man. That's a 4% move. That's a pretty aggressive move. Was that really worth 4% of the of the market cap? I don't know. I don't know if it's that much. I think you got. Look at that. Yeah, UPS. Look at that. They snatched that up. Look at that. Let's zoom in on that. They snatched that up. I mean, great play. Great was the low today. 100. Oh man, you got a $4 move from the lows there. Beautiful move. If they caught that, let's see on that on the 10-minute chart. Oh God, beautiful. Look at that. What a beautiful move. Selling into the morning, and then, oh man, that's just wonderful. Where's that 10 moving average on that one? Okay. Yeah. Beautiful play. What a bounce. What a bounce. What a bounce. Cat. Here's the thing about Cat, man. Cat is very sensitive to Forex prices, the U.S. price of the dollar. You got to understand, to buy Caterpillar products, you have to buy them in dollars. When the dollar is expensive, these products become very expensive to third world countries and businesses in those countries. So Caterpillar is kind of one of those ones that's, again, very sensitive to dollar prices. And again, I think U.S. Euro. What is that, Euro USD? Where are we at on Euro USD? If I'm correct. Yeah, see, the dollar is gaining strength. So, see here, this is the euro prices are going higher, dollar losing steam, euro's going down, so that means the dollar is going up. So, it hurts businesses like Caterpillar. So, yeah, when you're talking about Caterpillar, you got some other things that are going on there. And as the dollar continues to go stronger, that could have an effect on Cat. Yeah, I get excited, man. This is like sex for me. This is like sex for me. I love just looking at these charts, and you got to remember, we've had 7-hour shows before. I'm telling myself I'm going to stop at 2 hours, but I wanted to stop at an hour. I told my girlfriend, I was like, only an hour, but now I'm up to 2 hours. CHGG. Chegg. Yeah, Chegg is another exploiter, right? Chegg is another exploiter of the college system. And they're basically another company that takes advantage of college students on the fact, well, they're not to blame. They're only feeling a need because they're providing textbooks that typically cost hundreds of dollars for a quarter of the price on a rental system. The problem is that a lot of people lose their books or don't bring them back in time, so they make a lot of money on the fees involved in that as well too. But again, they're that's just another business that shouldn't exist at all. But because, again,